Alright, Planeswalkers. We are back with the Gideon Planeswalker unboxing and reveal. See, I have not actually looked into this at all. Usually I do some research. I'm like, hey, let's see what we're getting this time. Nah. It's like, let's do this thing. So, like I try to do each time, I think I totally forgot to do one of them. I open them up. I kind of talk about what it looks like, what it means, what you're going to be getting. Ignore this. It's a thingy I bought to go along with whatever. Anyway, I talk about what's in it, what's worthwhile, what's not, and so on and so on and so on. So, this is the Gideon the Oathsworn Planeswalker. He is 6 casting costs for 4 loyalty. Whenever you attack with 2 or more non-Gideon creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures. Pretty cool. Until end of turn, Gideon the Oathsworn becomes a 5/5 white soldier creature token that's still a planeswalker. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to him this turn. He can't attack if he was cast this turn, so it does say that summoning sickness is a thing. Reminds you of that. And -9, exile Gideon the Oathsworn and each creature your opponents control. So, you're like, yeah. And you have no board state, and I win. So, let's get that out of there. Put him off to the side. Visible on the edge. There we go. Alright, now inside you'll find there is a deck box. This deck box is large enough to hold sleeves, if that is a concern for you. It says Gideon on the side, and it has his face on the front. Inside you'll find 2 booster packs and the deck itself, along with kind of a welcome, hey, before you play. Yeah, I don't concern myself with that. And for some reason, this is a green-black deck, apparently. Sorry, white-black deck. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, white-black. So it's Orzhov colors, which is kind of cool. So we're going to go through this. So we have Command the Dreadhorde, choosing a number of target creatures and or planeswalker cards in graveyards. Command the Dreadhorde deals damage to you equal to the total converted mana cost of those cards. Put them into the battlefield under your control. Oath of Kaya. It's nice that this is in here because I like this card. Enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. And whenever an opponent attacks a planeswalker you control with 1 or more of their creatures, Oath of Kaya deals 2 damage to that player and you gain 2 life. Now, that does not mean that if they attack with 2 creatures, it does 4 damage and you gain 4 life. It's if during their attack phase they target a planeswalker with any number of creatures, or any number of planeswalkers with any number of creatures. No. They can attack 1 planeswalker with any number of creatures, but if they split it up and you have 2 planeswalkers on the battlefield, that damage is then 2 and 2 because attacks a planeswalker. So they're attacking this planeswalker, they're attacking this planeswalker. It is 2 separate triggers, if I understand correctly. Gideon's Battlecry, this is one of those that are specific to the deck. This is, as you can see, 267 of 264, meaning that it is in excess of the cards originally in the set. For 4 cost sorcery speed, you get +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and then you may search your library and or graveyard for a card named Gideon the Oathsworn, reveal it, and put it into your hand. If you search your library, shuffle it. There are 2 of those. Basically turning Gideon into a 3 copy in the deck, but you have to get the sorcery thing. And if Gideon dies before you get a chance to exile him, then you have the option to return him. So, Kaya, Bane of the Dead. Your opponents and permanents your opponents control with hexproof can be the target of spells and abilities you control as though they did not have hexproof. Pretty sweet. And double removal if we don't have any proliferate. Ajani's Pridemate. 2, 3. Pretty good. Charmed Stray, lifelink. It's great. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on it for each other creature you control named Charmed Stray. So I'm hoping there's at least a playset in here. And by at least, I mean exactly a playset. Yep, there it is. 1/1 lifelink is great. 1/1 lifelink that if you have multiples of becomes a 2/2. Even better. Enforcer Griffin, get some air. I think that replacing that is going to be a good choice. If you still want to keep the flyer, pick a better flyer. Makeshift Battalion is great. It's a good common that you can get out early on. 3 for a 3/2 is a decent exchange rate. 2 for a 3/2 would be better, obviously. But since this deck looks like it's going to be going wide, having multiple creatures attack makes this thing stronger. Yeah. And it's before combat starts, or before damage is dealt. So you declare your attackers and it gets +1/+1. Trusted Pegasus gives things flying. That's a good one to have because it gives other things flying too. Worst Creature is good, especially in draft. Maybe in here. I don't know. Vampire Opportunist. I mean, this is good in a mana sink kind of way. I mean, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life for 7 mana. That's a thing, but at the same time, there are better 2-drops out there in these colors. When Cruel Celebrant or another creature or planeswalker you control dies, they lose a life. Sorry, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. There's 1, 2, 3. So it looks kind of like you got a little bit of an aristocrats thing that you would like to do in here. I don't know. I have to do some research and try and make this thing better. So this is why it confuses me. These are Boros. These folks here, these folks are Boros. Gideon is receiving honors from the Boros people. So why is this? Why is this deck Orzhov colors? I don't know. I think it's probably because Gideon's dying. Orzhov Guildgate. Plains. Swamps. Bond of Discipline. Tap all creatures your opponents control. Creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. Kinda cool. Ob Nixilis' Cruelty, an excellent removal spell. Target creature gets -5/-5, and then exile it if it would die. Oh, 2, 3. Awesome. Desperate Lunge. You can see Gideon here is flying at Nicol Bolas's face. This is, I guess, before he dies. Because, you know, he's flying at his face. This is another one of those deck-specific ones. Target creature gets +2/+2 and flying, and then you gain 2 life. It's actually not a bad targeted spell. And then, in here somewhere, yep, there it is. You'll find one of these. Don't worry, this one's already been used. But this allows you to get this deck and all the cards in it on MTG Arena. So that's kind of cool. So that is the Gideon deck. Not terrible. I mean, obviously not competitive because they designed these to not be competitive, but not terrible. I'm pleased. And then, of course, you get 2 packs that come in it as well. So you crack these open. What I would recommend is you get one of these. Your buddy gets one of these, whichever one you want, whether you want the Gideon or the Jace. And you go through and say the only cards that you can alter the packs with are the ones that you have in your pack, in your box, and then go from there. And just hope that you pull something useful. Unlike this that has literally nothing Orzhov related. Maybe the next pack will be better. All right. Light Shield's a good one. Ghost Form's excellent. See, when an enchanted permanent dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. Oh, look. Exile. Oops. He comes back onto the battlefield. I mean, something like that. That's a good pull for this. All right. So we got Outburst, Dovin's Veto, Kiora Behemoth Beckoner, and Finale of Revelation. That is Ugin, if you are wondering who that dragon is. Draw X cards if X is 10 or more. Instead, shuffle your graveyard into your library. Draw X cards, untap up to 5 lands, and you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. So basically, this makes a thing that exists forever. All right. So that is the Gideon Planeswalker unboxing and discussion. We'll do the budget rebuild later so that you can see if you want to upgrade it and make it functional for you. So until next time, check you later. Bye.